This is Andrew with the Chosen Prime with a video review of BadCube's OTS-08, otherwise known as Warrior Sunsurge or Masterpiece Sunstreaker, or their take on it. He does come packaged in vehicle mode, and he does look great in what you would expect a Masterpiece Sunstreaker to look like in vehicle mode, and I'll show him off with Sideswipe in a little bit. He does come installed with, at default, with chrome rims, a chromed intakes, and chrome spoiler. If you don't want that, you can go ahead and transfer that out. He does come with the parts for a silver intake, silver rims, and a silver spoiler. Other accessories he comes with a gun. They also comes with a pair of missiles to replicate the G1 missile hands that he had from the first toy. He comes with a alternate face, which I'll show off with the smirks. The final accessory he comes with is this little Masterpiece chip chase, which they call Fry, to kind of match the other little humans. What's nice about the vehicle mode is that it is painted this kind of nice warm yellow. Here's the default plastic color, so it does have this nice gloss to it. The wheels are actually kind of this rubberized plastic, so he doesn't move when you slide him, and he does roll just fine. So go ahead and we'll transform this version of Masterpiece Sunstreaker. So I will admit that Sunsurge has a fairly complex transformation. It all makes sense, but much like their Warpath, there's a whole lot of different locking tabs. Like here, these unlock and lock in both modes. So just a little bit of patience is needed as you transform him. I have not seen any flaking of the paint or the chrome with my multiple transformations, so go ahead and get started. So first and foremost, we go ahead and flip up this front panel here, so then we can kind of extend the feet. Next, we need to unlock this back panel here, and we do that by folding out these panels here, which these would peg into this peg here. And essentially what we need to do is we need to be able to get his top canopy here to rotate around, and in order to do that we need to kind of get this up through his back. So what we do is take this spoiler and we rotate each piece around. And that'll let us go ahead, and after we lift up the intake, we can kind of pull up this back panel up and over his spoiler. And you can kind of see that they go over the spoiler pieces there. Next, we need to unpeg the kind of gull wing doors by kind of moving them up like this. And do that on both sides. And as you can see, his inner chest here actually wraps around his torso, with his head is kind of hidden there in the glass, is kind of between his legs. And so when we go ahead and split his legs apart, they'll let us go ahead and kind of move that part out of the way. So we'll go ahead and we'll transform it the official way. But essentially the way that these legs work is that this panel here slides in, and then this kind of hooks around his shin to hold it in place. And it is a bit rough to lock in, but once it's locked in, it'll hold tight. Then we come around the back, and again there's this little flap, and there's this channel here with this peg, and then it'll sit there. We take the canopy here and we fold in the window, we rotate it around, and then we compress this peg hole here. We come to the foot, and there's a heel spur here, which is a little bit tricky to get out. Both a little kind of pressure, you can kind of slide it out. And there essentially is one of his legs completed in his the default transformation. So we'll go ahead and do the same thing for the other side. We will pop out the heel spur, which some of these pegs and sliding mechanisms may take a little bit of effort your first time due to them being brand new. We can go ahead and slide that out. We will compress the leg so that panel goes in there, and then just lock that into place. Come around the back. We will lock that. Go ahead and move the foot up, close this down, take the gull wing, fold it in, rotate it back, and then pressure it in. And then there essentially are his legs in the proper mode. Now, one way I actually prefer it, and is an option for you, is that you can come back here and you can unlock this tab. And I know some people have complained about how thin these legs are in this default mode. What you can do is go ahead and unpop this and then come out with the way it kind of was originally, and it'll still all peg in just fine once you bring this part back. So if you want a little bit thicker kind of foot, that's an option for you. That's actually, I prefer this way, and you still get the same kind of functionality as far as posability and everything like that. So we'll go ahead and I'll switch it back over on this one as well. So slide it out, relock, and kind of bring it up, and there are his legs done. So we'll go ahead and we'll move on to the torso. Okay, now we come to this part, and again, this canopy is now loose. You can go ahead and rotate it on this joint. And then what you want to do is you actually want to compress all of this part of the backpack. So there's a hinge here. So first we back the intakes. There's a hinge here that brings this all up. We come and move this little chrome piece out of the way. Kind of sandwich this, and then there's actually a peg on this part that pegs into the intakes. And that'll get the backpack mostly ready to go. Then we come to the front here, and the way that it is you want to go ahead and rotate out these sections, the entire wheel well, so the wheel well rotates inward. These are these arms. We do it on both sides. Again, you want the entire side. Go ahead and now slide up just the arm and leave the wheel downward. You want to go ahead and rotate it forward, move the arm down. This, as you can kind of see, is like the G1 had these little intakes. It's actually kind of built in, and you just kind of hinge it into the right spot. Come over to the other side and do the same thing. Kind of rotate the arm around, move it down, take the upper piece here and just loosen it and kind of shift it into place, and you can see it kind of is nice painted to match. So the next bit you want to do is you essentially want to take this entire spoiler section here and kind of invert it into his chest. And so essentially there's a bunch of different hinges here where you kind of just rotate it down in and around so that it can go ahead and sit here within the stomach. And essentially you want it to sit this way with the wings pointed backwards and these pegs forwards. That lets you go ahead and pull up the torso here to kind of come up around it, to kind of encase that. The backpack now comes up, there's a peg here and a peg hole here. So you peg that in, and then this piece here actually folds down into this channel to kind of even help hold it further. You come up with the backpack. These little sections here that were on the back of the car, they have these parts that slide up like this, and there's a peg hole and a peg here to fully lock the backpack in on both sides. And then to get his torso, you fold his torso up and go ahead and move these chest windows into position so that you make the full chest. We go ahead and split apart these panels here, and then what ends up happening is you'll end up folding this all onto the top part here, where these peg holes fit onto these on the wheels, and then these tiny little circular pegs fit on the outside. So you kind of just fold it up, and what you want to do is you want to make it so that this panel is as flush as possible here, so that essentially this is what the top of his chest looks like, and then just kind of fold it up and then make sure that everything pegs in. It may take a little bit of work to get it just right, but once you have it, there's a bunch of different pegs holding all into place. Go ahead and rotate the torso, and then essentially there's him in robot mode, so we'll go ahead and show him off with the missile hand. So before I go ahead and transform his hands, here you can see that he does come with the little silver missiles that is just a peg and a peg hole. So if you want either one or the other one of his hands to have the missile, you can do that. But essentially to transform his hands is the same kind of way. Now I will say it's a bit difficult the first couple times to get this panel out. So he does come with this little blue screwdriver, so you just need to be able to just kind of prop it out the very first time or two to kind of get in here, flip the fist out. And essentially there is BadCube Sunsurge in his robot mode. So he can hold his gun in a way similar to many other Transformers, so you would just go ahead and slide this back, and just like most, he does have a channel in his hand. So he's got the one set of fingers that slide out, so you just go ahead and channel that in. And there is, Sunsurge looking all like an excellent masterpiece Sunstreaker. He does have a lot of ratchet, so he's got universal hips, and these hip panels here do move if you want movement. Ratcheting knees. His feet have a whole lot of ankle tilt, So you can see he's got a whole lot of action there, forwards and back. He's got a waist swivel. His arm, he's got so many different pegs locking him in that you really don't need to worry about moving around. He's got a ball joint arms, which actually let you kind of fold back and forth. There is a ratchet to kind of either move the arm up or down. Double jointed elbows. Just all around excellent job from BadCube on this version of Sunstreaker. So the big question is, what does he look like compared to his twin brother? As you can see, they look great as a pair. Overall, the height, the styling, the size, the overall bulk between the two of them look great. They do look like a pair of twins, and as you can, when you see in vehicle mode, they really look like they came from the same car mold. Sunsurge in his vehicle mode alongside his brother. As you can see, BadCube's done a really good job of matching the Lamborghini styling of Masterpiece Sideswipe. The scale, the spoiler, the design, the overall look and feel. These guys really look like a pair of twins. So commendations to BadCube for that design. Do remember that if you do want Sunsurge to have silver wheels, spoiler and intakes, he does have them, so you can match the ones that Sideswipe has. But in vehicle mode, these guys really do look like a pair of twins. So this is the default head that Sunsurge comes with. As you can see, it's just more of a stoic face. But in order to replace it, you use a little blue screwdriver that came with the kit to unscrew the screw on the back of the head. And so then once you get the screw out, you can go ahead and then pop the front of the face off. So there's the head. And then what you do is there's a couple pegs here. You can just use the blue screwdriver to kind of pry it off. Here's the new head with the smirk, and you would just go ahead and reposition it. And then you go ahead and reattach it. And here he is with the smiling face. Again, not much different, but it kind of depends on what version of Sunsurge you want. So I'll do to briefly to show you where you can change out the parts to change and remove the chrome. So if you want to remove the spoilers, there's two screws here that you would unscrew to replace the spoiler. For the intakes, again, there's just two screws here that then you would just go ahead and re-screw in the silver one. And then to replace the chromed rim, essentially all you do is you pull off the rubberized wheel to then you get access to chrome, and then all it is it's just a friction peg. So you just pop it out, and here's the silver one. Pop the silver one in, and then re-add the tire, and then you'd have a silver version of his rims. So Sunsurge with the other Masterpiece Autobots in the robot modes. As you can see, he really does fit the aesthetic established by the official Takara bots. You can see he even works well with Ocular Max's Sphinx. And in actuality, I would actually say he actually feels better than, say, some recent release like here, like Masterpiece Tracks. He just feels better than even some official product. So you really can't go wrong if you want to add this version of Sunstreaker to your Autobot collection. Sunsurge in his vehicle mode compared to other Masterpiece Autobots, as you can see, he really does fit the aesthetic that's been set aside so far by the Takara Autobots, including even things like Ocular Max's Sphinx. But overall, I think BadCube's done a good job of matching the look and feel that's been set so far by the Masterpiece Autobots. So Sunsurge from BadCube is an excellent representation of Masterpiece Sunstreaker. From the paint, design, the overall engineering, they've done a really great job of evoking the G1 character and all his vanity. I will say that he's just overall fantastic. I will am a bit biased that Sunstreaker is my favorite G1 character. And you really can't go wrong by picking up Sunsurge from BadCube. He's currently available for order from the Chosen Prime, so he comes highly recommended. So take care.